Hello everyone. Today I just want to get up a review on a foundation I recently just purchased, which is the MAC Nourishing Waterproof Foundation, and it's this foundation right here. I usually always use the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I personally don't or haven't experimented with a lot of foundations simply because I go to the drugstore and most of the shades are too light or just way too dark, and they have just way too red of an undertone for my skin tone, and it just doesn't work, and I end up having to go return it and go back and forth. So I like to go into like a store like MAC or Sephora where I can actually try on the foundation and see what it looks like on my skin without having to go back and forth. I haven't experimented with a lot of foundations, so recently I kind of wanted to branch out from my foundations and just explore different options. I picked up a couple. I picked up this one and another foundation I'm still working with, but I'm going to review that one. It's the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation, and it took me forever to purchase it, but I have been wanting to try that one for a long time, so I purchased that one, and then I also got this MAC one to try. I tried this one first. I've been using this one for about a month or so now, almost a month now, and I love this foundation. It's a very full coverage. I would say it's a little bit more coverage than the Studio Fix Fluid, in my opinion, but it's a very good foundation. The smell, it smells, I don't know, I can't think of what it reminds me of. It kind of smells a little bit similar to the Studio Fix Fluid, but I would say the smell is a little bit stronger, but it's nothing that bothers me. But if you are sensitive to like smells, it does have a little bit of a smell. Like I said, it's a full coverage, and it's waterproof. Now, as far as the waterproof, I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and be honest with you. I was watching a movie when I was wearing this foundation, and the movie made me cry. So I was crying at this movie, and I think I was watching Little Princess with my daughter. If you've seen this movie, A Little Princess, comment down below because it's the best movie ever and I cry every time. So I was watching this movie with my daughter and I was crying, and I noticed that my foundation, like I was kind of patting at my face while I was crying, and I noticed that my foundation didn't move at all. It wasn't runny, it wasn't streaky, it didn't pull off any of my foundation. So I thought that was really nice for it to be waterproof. And I believe on the MAC website, I'll write down below what it says on the MAC website. But I'll put this down. But I believe on the MAC website it does say transfer resistant. And as far as that, I don't believe that it's transfer resistant. In my opinion, it does transfer a little bit, but it's nothing too dramatic. The Studio Fix Fluid I found does transfer a little bit more than this foundation, but I mean, foundation transfers anyway on me, no matter what it says about being transfer resistant. So that's just one thing that you might want to look out for if you're buying it just because it says transfer resistant. It's not really fully transfer resistant. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was the price. Now I believe this retails for $33. It's only 0.84 fluid ounces, so that's a little bit pricey compared to some other MAC foundations that they have. They're, I believe, at least 1 fluid ounce or even more. I think the Pro Longwear maybe a little bit more than 1 fluid ounce, but it is a bit pricey. I mean, if you can see, it's not the biggest compared to my hand. It's just, I mean, it's a small foundation. There's not a lot of product in here, but I personally would repurchase it because you do not need a lot of this at all. No, there's a little bit goes a very long way with this foundation. And I've also tried this, mixing it with a moisturizer, with my Simple moisturizer, just to kind of use it as a tinted moisturizer, and I like using it like that as well, and that can also save you some product. For if you are wanting to use it for tinted moisturizer, you can, like I said, mix it with lotion or a little bit of face moisturizer, and that way you get a little bit of coverage in the moisture, and it's not so full coverage, because it is definitely a very, very full coverage. The next thing I want to talk about is getting the foundation off. It's definitely a process getting the foundation off of my skin, which is not, it's good and bad, because yes, it does last a long time. The longest I've worn this foundation was, I believe, 8 hours, and that's it. I usually don't wear my foundations longer than, I mean, 8 hours is a long time. I usually don't wear my foundation that long. So if you're looking for like a full length how long this foundation lasts. I could definitely do that and just try and stretch it as long as I can. But for the longest that I've worn the foundation personally is only 8 hours, and it did last the 8 hours that I wore it. Now, like I was saying, for getting the foundation off, you definitely have to really rub and get the foundation off. I use a makeup wipe first and then go in and wash my face, which I usually do anyway, but I do have to kind of really get in there with a makeup wipe to get the foundation to come off. But it's, like I said, it's good and bad, just kind of depends. It doesn't bother me, but if you do not like really washing your face after you are wearing makeup, if you want a foundation that kind of comes off a little bit easier with, you know, cleansing, then maybe you wouldn't be interested in this foundation. If that's not a worry to you, then I'd say you'd like this foundation. So overall, I do like the foundation. I would recommend it. If you have oily skin, I would definitely recommend this foundation. If you have dry skin, I mean, it's not it doesn't feel dry. It's not a fully matte finish. I believe on the website it says that it's like a satin or natural finish. Again, I'll leave everything that the MAC website says down in the description box. But if you're dry, I would say that you could probably get away with using this foundation, because I'm oily in my T-zone, but in the winter my skin gets really dry, like around here and then a little bit on my forehead, and I was a little bit dry when I first started using this foundation, and I didn't notice that it didn't stick to like my dry patches. It was very smooth, and it wasn't too drying on my skin. I do use my Josie Maran Argan Oil underneath this foundation. When I wash my face, I'll, you know, put on moisturizer and then put on the Josie Maran Argan Oil, and I'll let that sit for about 15 minutes and then put on this foundation. This foundation isn't too drying, so that's kind of up to you and what you like, how you like your skin to be underneath your foundation, underneath your makeup. So I hope you all enjoyed this review. This is my first review, so I don't know if I missed out on anything, but let me know of any products that you would like me to try and review, and I will definitely do that for you. Just comment down below in the description box what you would like to see me review, if you would, and give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more reviews on my channel. So I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.